Chairshot Reality on WrestleZone.com. Yes, I am back in studio. Thank you, everybody who's said the great things on social media, on Twitter, which are two people, my mom and my dad. But anyway, I'm now being joined.
They're on Twitter?
But yeah, of course, by the 7th most interesting juice to me. I have orange, cranberry, apple, grape, peach, and then juice. Juice Springsteen here in studio. Juice, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I love juice myself.
Do you?
Yeah,
so you love yourself?
Gin and juice. Of course I love myself.
All right, it's good to know.
How can I not like this?
I mean, many people don't. Anyway, we're going to talk about what is going on in WWE with the mid-card championships and the main titles.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I wouldn't even call it mid-card at this point. We got the U.S. title running things on SmackDown. The Intercontinental title is clearly the top title that's going for on Raw because Braun and Roman are fighting things out for
whatever
we presume against Brock at Great Balls of Fire.
So my question is, as you see right now on SmackDown, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles is the United States Championship feud, and then you have Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal competing for the world. Lesnar taking his time off, obviously, so that elevates the Intercontinental Championship, as we saw on Raw with The Miz and Dean Ambrose, but you also had Seth Rollins and Finn Balor in that triple threat match to determine the #1 contender. My question is, the mid-card hurting the Universal and World Championships right now because of these big names competing for those, quote, mid-card titles?
I don't think so at all. I think, if anything, they're elevating the status of them. And to be fair, I think it's a good idea that they get the big names behind them and they get these titles for as long as the other titles aren't the main focus. So whenever they are back into focus, it's almost like a level playing field. Maybe we get where, oh, I'm the United States champion, but I've beaten so-and-so and so, and I want to fight for the WWE title now. Maybe it's like a throwback to whenever that champion would be the #1 contender.
Yeah.
In certain aspects, so.
And I think that's a good idea. I think it's confusing to me because
it's confusing, but
for months we've seen Jinder Mahal on Raw being just beaten down. The guy looks like he could fight somebody. So you think, why isn't this guy getting an opportunity? Click, you get an opportunity.
SmackDown,
people are outraged. Whatever, no big deal. The Kevin Owens and AJ Styles feud is interesting to me because both are former World and Universal Champions.
Yep.
So now they're competing for the United States Championship. But as you see Randy Orton, I mean, when you put Jinder Mahal in a match with Randy Orton, he immediately becomes important. If you put Jinder Mahal in a United States Championship match, it's okay, maybe it's like a Jack Swagger or a Rusev or whatever these pieces are. I think that's just a placeholder right now.
I think so
to
too.
Shinsuke Nakamura, whose SmackDown is being built up as Backlash as his debut in SmackDown.
They're putting him in all the promo packages, and I think it's interesting that he's fighting Ziggler right off the bat, but I think the fact that it's a guy that will take his time in the ring, they'll have a good match. They're getting the promo work in with Nakamura, but it's not being on that's not being the main match promoted. Like, there's other things happening, and I think once Nakamura gets out of this, I assume he'll beat Ziggler. Then he'll go for probably the U.S. title, I would say. Yeah. But I don't know if AJ were to win that, I would be against him. I think they're saving that for like a WrestleMania match.
I think that would be a bigger match than.
So I don't know. It depends on if Orton or Jinder wins. I don't know if Nakamura would face one of those guys.
But here's the problem with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, I feel. When Kevin Owens debuted, Kevin Owens faced John Cena immediately. When Finn Balor debuted, Finn Balor faced guys like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and became Universal Champion at SummerSlam. Shinsuke Nakamura is just facing a guy who used to be good, who used to be a champion, and now is just kind of who he is. Dolph Ziggler wasn't even on the WrestleMania card. I mean, he was on the pre-show. Obviously.
So do you think this hurts Nakamura that he's fighting him?
I think it does. I think it hurts Nakamura because what I would have done is I would have never moved Miz over to Raw, and I would have kept him at SmackDown because millions of people saw WrestleMania, and what did they see? They saw The Miz versus John Cena. So when John Cena's gone, there needs to be a guy that fills that spot. Shinsuke Nakamura would benefit more against a guy like The Miz than a guy like Dolph Ziggler, who they're trying extremely hard to make a heel, but people just aren't buying it.
I don't know. I kind of agree with that. That would have been a better idea to put him with The Miz, and I thought that's what they were going to do.
They did the first week.
The first promo, they did that. But I still don't think it's a bad thing that he's going against a guy that, like, not everybody in the main audience that watches these shows, Raw and SmackDown, are going to know everything about Nakamura in the ring, on promos. So I think it's just, again, it's just like a test. It's just to get him out there, see what happens. And I think he'll pass with flying colors, and then we'll move on to whomever. And I think SmackDown's got a lot of talent there that'll elevate him as well.
And I think so, too. I think there's a good opportunity for Shinsuke Nakamura to compete with multiple guys. One guy that I could see them doing potentially for a short feud is Baron Corbin, to bridge it to going into SummerSlam and things bigger and better for Nakamura. Just quickly speaking about Raw, though, you have Brock Lesnar off TV. He'll be competing at Great Balls of Fire, most likely against one or both of Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be an interesting dynamic for them. But I also think at the same time, you see the Intercontinental Championship. Dean Ambrose and The Miz, we've seen that time and time again.
Time and time again.
Why do I care about this, and should they have given Finn Balor or Seth Rollins that feud?
I don't think so. I like that they went with the Bray Wyatt taking Balor out and Joe taking Rollins out. That gets that going for a little bit. And I think ultimately what's going to happen, what I would do, I think what's going to happen is Miz is going to win the title back at some point during the summer. But what I would do is if Miz does win the Intercontinental title back, that means he can be elevated and he can say, you know what, where's Brock? He's not going to fight him, but he can like talk bad about him on the mic. You know, I'm here. I'm the top champion on Raw. And then maybe Ambrose can finally get out of this. I'm a lunatic, but like I'm funny.
He's kind of like you. He tries too hard.
No, I don't try hard at all. I'm a natural idiot.
Do you look at yourself?
I'm a natural moron.
You're wearing a Marlboro hat, or is it Newport?
Newport.
I can't remember. Whatever cigarette you smoke.
I don't smoke any cigarettes.
Why do you have a Newport hat on?
Fashion.
That's fashion?
This is fashion. What the how are you wearing?
Oh, go ahead. Continue. Go ahead and say that. We have a believe button. I know Justin can do it in post. Anyway, Chair Shot Reality at WrestleZone.com. Coming up next, Justin Rennell join us to wrap up the weekend here on WrestleZone.com.